Hi ladies and gents, Pond here with another video for Rise of Empires Ice and Fire. Thank you so much for all your previous likes, comments and subscriptions to the channel. If you haven't subscribed already, why not click on that button and ring the bell so you can get notifications whenever I'm dropping content on the channel. And now onto the topic of this video. And yes, the topic of this video is Ramses II. So let's get it out of the way straight away. Ramses II is the new exclusive royal hero. That means he has the same mechanics as Arthur. To acquire him, he will require royal recruitment tickets, only obtainable through purchasing packs. So if you're free to play or a small spender, you're not going to be able to obtain this hero. He's on his own separate banner to Arthur, as you can see, and they both require the same royal recruitment tickets. He's available from S3 onwards, so available for the majority of players in the game. And from what I understand from hearing general chat in the last 24 hours since he came out, the lowest I've heard of him costing someone, where someone's been able to get 4 copies of him, was $400 worth of tickets, and the highest was 3,000. And I've heard all numbers in between: 700, 1,500, 2,200. So you can see there's no luck meter on this banner, the same as you get with Arthur. I've heard of someone using, I think, what was it, over 200, 250 tickets and not getting a single copy. So if you are going to attempt to purchase him, if you're a spender, it's going to take you potentially quite a big investment to obtain him. And yes, I obviously understand the frustration of a lot of players in the game. This is yet another additional element of pay to win. It's another barrier, and yes, it is increasing the disparity between the spenders, or certainly the top spenders, and everyone else. With that in mind, I still do like to obviously cover the content of the game, and Ramses is a new part of content. So let's have a look at his skills. And obviously he's got this Egyptian theme similar to Cleo, with all this decorated golden armor and a staff there. He is a support hero for archers, so that's probably going to be front or middle row most likely. And the description that we got in the Discord announcement says that he will increase the rate of fatal blows, help launch continuous attacks, plus with healing. So continuous, and also deal massive damage towards the middle of the battle. So continuous attacks, that makes me sound like he's going to be a serial attack hero, which is going to be specializing in basic attacks or passive attacks. So let's have a look at his skills. So skill 1 is the usual dictator leadership, giving the extra 23,100 bonus marching capacity. So even as a premium hero, you don't get any extra troops. Skill 2, Piece of Silver Plate. It's a prep skill, effective range of 6, which makes me think that this is to counter Reaper's skill that gives an extra range, +1 on his range. So you could potentially place Ramses on the back row if you wanted, with this effective range of 6. And the skill description: for the first 2 rounds, all enemy and your squads take -45% physical damage. Okay, my immediate thoughts on that is that this means that it is a counter to the serial attack combos, most of which have Rosen in, and that or might have like a Sakura in, for instance, that are going to do extra damage in the first 3 rounds. That's what they usually specialize in. So for this at least 2 of those rounds to be reducing the physical damage by 45%, that is quite a decent damage reduction. And then in rounds 3 to 6, all your squads have 80% chance to cast normal attacks 2 times each round. Okay, so yeah, he definitely is going to work with serial attack heroes. And rounds 3 to 6, that's 4 rounds, half of the battle, 80% chance. So you're looking at, and it's for all 3 of your squads. So effectively, you're guaranteeing probably 3 out of the 4 rounds you're getting. Say you've got 12 attempts, 12 chances in those 4 rounds. So yeah, it's 3 chances each of the 4 rounds, and it's 80% chance. You're looking at about 10 times that he will give you an extra normal attack. So that's what you're looking at there. Now, potentially that in itself is not huge, depending on the heroes that you pair him with. But also, if you're pairing him with heroes that are going to do passive attacks afterwards, then that could be a real additional bonus. And obviously, we've seen these additional attacks from other serial attack heroes. So Warden does it on his 8th skill, Rosen does it on her 5th skill, and Defender also does it as well, I think, on her 8th skill. So that's pretty good. 3rd and 4th skills, so defensive formation, additional 50% resistance, that's normal. And yeah, offensive formation, 50% might, that's normal. 5th skill, Battle of Kadesh, is a prep skill, effective range of 2. For archers, 3 random friendly squads with an effective range. Okay, in battles, all your archer squads gain a 40% chance of Fatal Blow. So, Fatal Blow we have seen in Al-Fatih's skill set. I think on his 5th skill, if I remember rightly, on the S1, the S1 heroes got their upgrade. And a Fatal Blow will, when dealing physical damage through normal attacks or additional attacks, which is the new name for passive skills, chance to increase the damage multiplier by 100% by default. So, does that mean you're getting an extra 100% damage like you do for Spectral Reaper's 8th skill, for instance? And it's a 40% chance. So, it's every round as well, isn't it? So, that's not bad. And this is obviously... then what's that going to be? Potentially it could activate 3 times in a battle, I guess. And then the skill could increase the chance of Fatal Blow to up to 60%. But if it's already 40% there, I presume this wording here relates to Al-Fatih's skill, because Al-Fatih's skill is a 50% chance to do a Fatal Blow. So this skill must then... the Battle of Kadesh skill, if you're pairing with Al-Fatih, will increase it from 50 to 60%. The portion, then a separate part of the skill description, the portion that exceeds the upper limit of Fatal Blow will be multiplied by 3 times and converted into the damage rate of Fatal Blow. I'll be honest, I'm struggling with this one. I'm really struggling. The portion that exceeds the upper limit of Fatal Blow. Well, Fatal Blow in the description has 100% by default. So, but what portion of what is exceeding 100%? I'm not sure. And then that gets multiplied by 3 times and converted into the damage rate of Fatal Blow. Again, rate is not a word we've seen in damage descriptions before. So... I'd be interested to hear people's thoughts on this skill. It's certainly I'm going to need to see it in action, what kind of impact that has. Let's go on to his Awakened skill. Plus 15 HP, so yeah, you'd expect this hero to be on the front row potentially with that extra HP. And then you've got additional might for the 7th, so kind of balance for that front or mid or back row. And then his 8th skill, Amon Wonder. It's a prep skill, so pre-battle activation again. Effective range of 2, 3 random friendly squads within effective range. Every time the Fatal Blow is triggered, all your squads recover some troop power. Recovery rate of 238%. Now, let's think about that for a start. Now, if that is a total of 238%, then that's around 79% per squad, which is only around 2,700 troops, I think. If that is 238% per squad, then that's huge. That would be 714% total healing if there's no recovery troop healing mitigation in your opponent's legions. And that would be over 8,000 troops per squad, because currently, obviously, Skander has one of the best healing abilities in the game, which only has a 50% chance, but it heals 2 squads at 247%, and that is 8,480 troops each time. So if we're talking about doing nearly as much, but for 3 squads, then you're talking about over 24,000 troops healed each time this activates, which I think is crazy, because even if you only activated Fatal Blow 4 times in a battle, you would get over 100,000. You get close to 100,000 troops being healed. And then in addition, we've got the hero squad gains 80% damage rate for the fatal blow, and that's stackable up to 7 times, lasting till the end of the battle as well. So obviously this fatal blow can be triggered from the first round. 80%, that's up to 560% damage rate, if just for the fatal blow, obviously. I'm not sure about this wording of damage rate. It's a new wording. Usually it says like things like additional damage, so like what Sakura says, or you get increased damage for what Immortal skill descriptions say, or you know, if it's mitigation, it reduces damage. But actually the word rate, it makes me wonder what the skill descriptions are here, and the devs are often you know, very ambiguous with this, and how it actually translates into the game does not exactly work logically with how you think the skill is reading. So really going to have to see what this hero is doing in action, because if you just take it as, you know, layman's terms of it increasing actual damage by that percentage, that would just be an absolutely enormous amount of additional damage. Let's talk about formations. So in the announcement it did say that recommended formations were Warden, Ramses, Reaper. That makes absolute sense to me. If he is boosting damage plus has these extra basic attacks from turns 3 to 6, you pair him with Warden, then Warden's giving an extra basic attack every turn, so that means Reaper would be getting 3 basic attacks from turns 3 to 6. Reaper has that really strong passive skill on skill 2 as well, so that does a lot of damage anyway. So this, and he has his increased damage from his 8th skill, giving 100% extra basic attack damage as well. So getting that all stacking on top, a Reaper could potentially, and I say the word potentially, could do huge damage paired with this combo. And of course there is a counter to it. You could use status combos to disarm and suppress, or you could also confuse, because obviously if they then have a massive fatal blow and they confuse and they attack themselves, that would do a huge amount of damage. But then the fatal blow would also trigger a huge amount of healing potentially from the skill. Again, got to see it in action. The other two kind of, and obviously Warden is an SX6 hero, Reaper is SX3. You're not going to get them that quickly in the game when Ramses is coming out at S3, so that's why as well they're going with this suggestion of Charles the Great and Al-Fatih, because Charles the Great does have additional damage abilities in his skill set as well, plus he gives dodge to the back row your back row hero as well. And Al-Fatih, as I said, already has this fatal blow skill built into his 5th skill, and he does a lot of additional damage as well, both on 2nd and 8th skills. Because his 8th skill stacks the fatal blow damage by 4 times as well, I believe 60% by 4 times. So lots of damage going on there. And then of course again, if you don't have Reaper, which surely if you have Warden you would have Reaper, but you could use Warden, Ramsey, Al-Fatih as well, is what it's saying. So interesting hero. The first kind of Archers premium hero that we've seen. It would balance up a lot of things in the game, particularly earlier in the game, where after S2, Archers really struggle for a long time. I mean, to be honest, there hasn't been that many premium like meta Archer combos, certainly not just purely Archers. And Ramses is going to have to work with Archers, because this 5th skill in battles, all your Archer squads gain this chance of fatal blow. So he's not going to really work with any other mixed combos, in my opinion, unless you might do like a Rosen with him and someone else potentially. So yeah, you might do, maybe you could do Rosen, Ramsey, Al-Fatih potentially. That could be an option very early in the game, but then maybe having Charles the Great would be more beneficial anyway, because you're having those 3 Archer legions that will benefit from that 5th skill. There we go, guys. Lots of question marks about this hero. I am going to, of course, try and get some testing done on him over the coming days, get some battle reports, analyse, and then do a more thorough review video in the coming days. For those players that are spenders who are looking to acquire him, You can see that his banner is still available for another 5 days. So there is still time to kind of check out if he's worth buying or not. Of course, like we saw with Arthur, Arthur was also reduced as well. Has been nerfed and changed around and things. So how they first appear is not always how they work, and how their skill descriptions don't always obviously translate into actual battle dynamics. So lots of questions still. Of course, I'd be interested to hear your comments on him, if anyone's already got him and how he's working in battles. I know there's going to be a lot of negative feedback about obviously having yet another premium hero in the game. This is, the devs have drawn their line in the sand in terms of this. We know what's coming. We know what they've been doing. It's no different to before. And yeah, it's something we've got to live with if you want to continue playing Rise of Empires. If you have liked this video, please do click on the like. And if you could share this video and my channel in your Alliance chat, Province chat, and through Line, WhatsApp, Viber, Discord, whatever you use to communicate with your fellow players in the game, that would be very much appreciated. That's it for now. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you soon.